What's up, Wellness Clinic owners? Today I'm taking you through the 5 constraints that are probably causing your business to stay stagnant. It probably feels like there's a ceiling on your business. Maybe you just haven't hit or managed to break through a revenue barrier. You maybe feel like you can't keep clients long enough. I want to tell you the 5 things that are stopping you from growing your business and keeping you exactly where you are. And the first one is what I call the sweet shop model. Okay. This is rampant across the entire wellness and fitness industry. So if you have a gym or you're a physiotherapist or a chiropractor, it's the same thing for you, really. It's probably less so physiotherapists and chiropractors, but there's still going to be something in there for you. So, like I said, one of the biggest mistakes I see is that you have adopted what we call the sweet shop model, which is as exactly how it says, what it says on the tin. Imagine you go into a sweet shop and you go and choose, browse the shelves, you choose all the things that you want, you take it to the shopkeeper, you pay your money. At least this is what happened in the 90s. And they say, good choice. There you go. Right. And that's just not how it works in real life for people who want health and wellness solutions. So you don't, for example, go into a pharmacy and just browse the shelves and take what you want to the shopkeeper. Right? It's not how it works because these people have expertise. They know that there's potency in what you're choosing. They know that there's a frequency that's required in order to get great results from the thing that you're choosing. And they know, based off the problem that you have and the solution you're looking for, which things to prescribe. And that's the thing that's missing in your business is prescription, right? Most wellness clinics have unintentionally adopted the sweet shop model. Clients browse your services on your website. I can go to most clinics' websites and just book in for any treatment I want. Okay. And they choose the treatment they think that they need, and they decide how often they'll attend, which also means that they can decide when they stop attending because they feel like it, right? And so you've unintentionally position yourself as a provider of health and wellness treatments, okay, or the potential of results. That's what you're positioning your product as right now. If you're running this model, is you are saying, yeah, use us, and this is just all potential, right? Because this is what we have, but whether or not you get results is up to you. That's what we're saying. And so, what I want to tell you today by being here is that you're actually responsible for the outcome. And that's the model you need to shift to if you want to grow your business. You need to actually take responsibility for the outcomes that your clients get. The challenge is that your clients and potential clients aren't qualified to prescribe their own healing protocols, right? They don't know how many sessions they're actually going to need to get to the results that they want. They don't know which combination of interventions is going to produce a better result than the one they're asking for. Like red light's great, but red light and hyperbaric, is it better? Probably. Red light and cold therapy and hyperbaric, does that produce a different result? We need to know more about the potency of certain things and combining them in order to, if things can produce better results, you owe it to your clients to be able to actually communicate that, right? And they don't know when to increase frequency or reduce it, right? Do I need red light once a week? Do I need it 3 times a week to hit my goal? Do I need it once a week for the first 4 weeks and then I need to move up? There are ebbs and flows to healing as well. And so there's so many things that they don't know that you could be communicating to them in order for them to get better results. That's your job, right? Your job is to introduce them to something that's actually going to solve the problem in a specific amount of time. So look, let's imagine a patient walked into a physiotherapy clinic, right, and announced that, hey, I would like to do 4 sessions with you, but I'd like to spread them over 6 months, right? Because that fits my budget. A good physiotherapist isn't going to be like, oh yeah, sounds right. I'll take the work because I need the work. They're going to be like, actually, that's not going to help you with what you need. And so they would actually try and explain to the client, hey, what's actually required to get to the outcome that you want? And they would then allow the client to decide whether or not they want to commit to that plan versus their own. Because if I can tell somebody, hey, your plan to hit 4 sessions over 6 months isn't actually going to bring you any results, why would you explain to me why you would still want to commit to that? It's it very quickly falls on its knees. And so that's all that's missing in your business, is that you need to be able to say these things to clients, but you can't do that if they're just on your website shopping for what they want. Wellness clinics, like I said, this is what you need. Your responsibility isn't to give clients what they're asking for, right? Your responsibility is to recommend what they need when they need it. And when you allow clients to self-prescribe, three things happen, which is what is happening in your business. They're getting inconsistent results, right? Some people change, some people don't, because they're following their preferences that are usually emotionally led. Okay, so I don't feel good, so I'm going to go in. I do feel good, so I'm not going to go in. I feel better, so now I'm going to quit. Right? Like they're led by their emotions and their preferences rather than a healing protocol that you could absolutely 100% create, which I'll show you how in another video. Second, your revenue becomes unpredictable because clients are deciding how and when they engage with your business, right? Because they can just come and go like a revolving door whenever they want. And the third is that your authority actually completely disappears because instead of being viewed as like the expert, you become the place that just rents out wellness equipment, right? Like you have access to our machines if you come here. And so the solution is to move from selling treatments to prescribing programs. And every client should leave a consultation with a really clear understanding of three things: what problem you're actually helping them to solve, what protocol they're going to need to follow in order to get the results that they want, and why consistency is essential if they want the outcome that they're looking for. And this doesn't remove the client's choice, right? Like they're still choosing treatments to some extent. They're just doing it with help. Does that make sense? Right? It simply moves the choice to the right place rather than kind of the place that's going to maybe waste their time, energy, and resources. So the thing that you want to do from this is like just review maybe like the last 10 people who've joined your clinic. Just ask yourself honestly, like, did they follow a protocol that we set out, right, that you prescribed, or did they simply just buy treatments, turn up for a little bit, maybe had a good experience and then left? Your answer is going to tell you whether or not you're running a wellness clinic, right, or a sweet shop. And I'm pretty sure you didn't sign up to running a sweet shop. So here we go. So constraint number 2, right? You're marketing treatments instead of problems. This is the big one, right? This is like, again, just like your website, your social media most likely looks the same as well. You are constantly saying red light is really great for inflammation. It's great for this. It's great for that. Cold therapy really helps you with all these things, these things, these things. You're not really talking about like, hey, Sandra came to us struggling with X, and through our protocol, we helped her solve it. You're not saying that like, hey, mood, anxiety, inflammation are all linked, and actually that's what we end up helping people overcome, right? We help people overcome the entire 360-degree view of health. We kind of take into account the 6 deep health factors, right? Your emotional health is going to improve with us. Your mental health is going to improve with us. Whereas instead, we get stuck at saying things like, hey, come here for PEMF. What's that, right? Nobody wakes up thinking like, oh, I know what I need today. I need a red light and a PEMF session. That's what I need, right? They wake up thinking, no, I'm exhausted. Why does my back hurt every morning? Why can't I sleep through the night? Why don't I feel like myself right now? So your marketing, right? Like it has to enter the conversation that they're already having in their head. And so something that you could just do right now is like just compare these two headlines, right? Experience the benefits of red light therapy versus like wake up with more energy without relying on another coffee, right? That's the problem that people have that you could solve, but it's just pitched two different ways, right? The first is advertising a treatment as the thing, whereas the second speaks directly to the problem being the thing, and that is the thing. One requires a client to understand that your service before they're even interested, and the other earns their attention immediately because it describes the frustration that they're currently experiencing. So the best clinic marketing doesn't educate people on the machines first. That's the big thing. You have to just advertise the solutions that in the problems that you fix. Okay. So that's kind of constraint number 2 is that nobody is solving problems on their social media. Even if you say things like, hey, recovery, sorry, not recovery, wellness clinics do really well for like sports men and women because sports men and women are kind of educated to an extent and they know why they're there. They're like, I don't have a problem that needs solving. I just want my body to respond quicker. So they understand that like they need to adhere, they need to go and do all the things in order to get the results that they're after. But just as a quick one, like they're also like low value clients because they're not here to heal anything. right? They're just here to recover, like to recover. That's like one visit a week, maybe. And they don't need help with their mental health. They don't need help with their emotional health. They don't need help with their physical health. They don't need help with any kind of deep health factor. They're using you to get what they want, which is slightly different to somebody who needs a healing protocol, right? Which would require like long term adherence to a protocol where there's measurable progress every single week. And there's other things that they're going to need within your service. So, even just in terms of types of clients that you're attracting because of this type of marketing, is kind of that's the result. The result is that you bring in people who aren't willing to spend that much money because they don't need that much from you. So look, one action step is going to be open up your website or your social media profile and just count how many times you mention treatments, right? And then count how many times you mention your client's problems. If your treatments appear more often than your client's problems and struggles do, then your marketing's centered around your business and it's not centered around helping people. And for a business to thrive, this is the big thing that like I guess not many people it sounds to me it sounds so obvious, but when you put it down like this, it starts to kind of become even more obvious maybe for you. But like a business can only truly thrive if it's one, producing value for a client. That means actually delivering something life changing to them, right? It actually has to affect their life for the better. Sportsmen and women who are using you for recovery have no life changing effect from your service. They have a nice time, they feel better, they recover quicker. That's it. But like somebody who's struggled with like chronic back pain all their life and is pain free, what does that allow them to do in their life? That allows them to live pain freely. That means they're playing with their kids more, right? That means that they're waking up happier, less agitated, less angry on a daily basis. Like that's something that's so much more valuable than somebody being like, oh no, like I'm already great. I just need this to enhance me even more. Like that's not the same thing. And so that's the first thing. Your business has to tangibly improve somebody's life. When it does, the business has to produce return on investment for you, the clinic owner. And so if you don't have the return on investment that you think you need, you should have, it really points to like, well, there's not enough value being delivered in the business, right? And you're not going to simply change that amount of value that's really coming through the business if you're not already changing or thinking about how you market your business in the first place. Number three, it's credit systems. Credit systems are really bad. Here's why. A client comes in. Think about this, right? When you go on holiday and you used to take your cash and you used to get obviously the currency that you were going to be using, how did the new currency feel? It felt like monopoly money, right? It felt fake. And it removed the kind of weight and pressure that you normally put on yourself when you're spending, right? So it's easier to spend money on holiday because you've taken your currency that you for some reason have placed a value on, or you have a weight to it. You have an idea that this has value here, and you've exchanged it for something that you don't recognize, and so you don't have the same perception of the value, and so it's easier to spend when you're on holiday, right? The same is kind of true, but in the opposite way for wellness businesses, right? You introduce a credit system with the intention of making services more flexible and accessible. On the surface, it feels like a smart idea, right? Because clients buy, a bundle of credits, maybe they even get a discount, and they redeem them over time across different treatments. It simplifies payments because they only have to pay you once, but then each machine has a different charge and all these things, right? Encourages upfront commitment, and it gives clients perceived freedom of choice. That's the big thing. It gives them perceived freedom of choice. But the problem is, what kind of behaviors are you attracting in with this system? One of the big things you're going to attract in, especially if you haven't quite got your time constraints right. If you're charging, let's say, I don't know, £200 for a pack of 20, it's quite cheap, by the way, pack of 20, and 20 treatments, and they've got 6 months to use them. What you're actually doing is you're saying, however they behave with their money in their life, you're bringing that into your business. If I buy 20 credits and my mind isn't geared towards a protocol of healing, right? And I'm in scarcity and lack, which, by the way, the majority of your clients who you're actually going to be helping with their health, who have back pain, who have chronic inflammation, who have chronic fatigue, they're usually rooted in lack, right? This is a mindset of lack. I need to do something because I don't have enough. They're going to spend exactly how they spend in their real life in your business with your credit system. So the idea in their head doesn't become like, okay, how many times a week do I need to go to get my result? The idea in their head is, how can I make these last? And that's going to delay healing, which delays results, which also delays repeat spending in your business. And it also delays them ever like referring another client because they had such great results. Like, your credit system is actually damaging your business and your clients' results. So that's kind of, yeah, it's the biggest one, right? This is where like good intentions create unintended consequences. From a business perspective, credit systems can also reduce clarity in your model, right? Revenue becomes harder to predict because, like I said, you haven't got that repeat buying going on every month because clients are trying to spread out their treatments. Client behavior becomes more fragmented and retention becomes more difficult to control because there is no structured pathway guiding the client from start to finish, because it's up to them with how they spend their credits, even though they've already spent their money, right? So that's kind of the big issue. So just little action step, right? Do my clients think in terms of credits and sessions, or do they think in terms of outcomes and time-bound transformations? If your answer is credits, then you're likely giving clients too much control over the structure of their healing. And in most cases, more control does not create better results. It creates slower ones, right? Number 4, you're discounting, giving free tours or pay as you go thinking. These are all in one because they all devalue your service and product. That's why, even though it's 3 things, it's just one. Discount, that devalues what you do. Free tour, it points customers into the wrong frame of mind. It's saying, do you like us, in order to buy from us? It's the wrong frame of mind. You already have a solution to their problem. Whether they like it or not should be besides the point. It should be, do you want the solution or not? Like, I don't really care what kind of cryo chamber I'm in if I'm getting the result that I want from the cryo chamber, right? It doesn't matter whether it's a small one, a big one, how it's administered. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if in a hyperbaric, if I'm sat or if I'm laid down, or if I've got a mask or if I don't. These things are like irrelevant. So when you say, let's go on a free tour, let's show you around. Did you like this? This looks good, doesn't it? This looks good. You're just delaying and changing somebody's idea of value about what you do, and you're forcing it into a place that isn't going to be profitable for you or them, right? And then the pay as you go thinking, that's also another issue, right? Like, just buy 10 credits and then buy 10 more and then buy 10 more and then buy 20 more. It's like, how many do I need to buy in order to get the result that I actually want? It always points back to outcomes rather than access. Okay, so that's number 4. And then number 5, this is a big one, right? This is the missing container. You don't have a container to actually hold people to the process of transformation, right? And like, this is a little client journey that I created for my gym when I had my gym, but I also now create them for wellness clinics, because a container is a container. You need to show somebody what happens from on day 1 all the way through to them getting their first result, their second, their third, their fourth, and what kind of milestones they should expect along the way, right? A container is the structure that holds the client through their transformation. Without it, your clinic becomes a series of disconnected sessions. And with it, your clinic can become a guided process, right? And the difference is profound, because if you're taking everybody through the same journey for the first, let's say, 90 days to maybe even 6 months, you're going to start creating what you call throughput, right? Which in the industrial kind of industry, and retail is like, okay, how many units can we produce, right, to the quality that we expect to produce them and deliver them to the end user? The same thing is true for a wellness clinic. How many people can you put through this mechanics of this journey that produces results at the same point every single time, regardless of who goes through it? This is where, like, most wellness clinic owners go like, well, you can't do that because everyone's different and requires different things. It's like, I agree. Everyone is slightly different, not totally different, slightly different. We all have a human body. That's the same human body regardless of who's in it, right? And we just have slightly different issues or reasons for joining. That's the difference. But the healing protocol that is available to you that you could be putting through everybody is like, reset the circadian rhythm. Why? Well, everyone has a circadian rhythm. So reset that. Spend the first 30 days focusing on just fixing that. Individualize it to the individual that's, they're like, specialize it to the individual that's in front of you. But ultimately, it needs to sit in a frame of the first 30 days is circadian rhythm balance, right? Then it should be maybe improving cell functions. And then it should be oxidizing cell function, right? You've got like reset, repair, and then energize, go. That's 3 months worth of work for every single person that comes through my doors that gets the same thing over and over again. And guess what? When people start getting the same results and saying the same things and doing the same work, and it builds trust. This also is what's going to really pour back into your marketing. Hey, within 30 days, most people say this is what's changed. Their sleep improved, their fatigue reduced, right? When you start getting the same results for the same sorts of people, your marketing becomes dead easy, right? When you say to them, hey, I want you to bring a friend in next week. Do you know anyone who doesn't sleep very well? Yeah, my husband. How do I know that? Well, because I sleep next to him and I don't sleep well, which means he doesn't sleep well. Like your next referrals are built off solving your current client's problems and you're just not doing a good enough job at it. And you need a container to do it. And so that's there as well. And so, yeah, ultimately the big shift, right? We've already talked about this is like shifting from access to outcomes. This is part of a guide that's going to help you as a clinic owner earn 150K a year. And that's exactly what the next part of this document goes through. If you want that document, just comment 150K and I will send it to you. I hope this has been helpful. And this is what I do for a living. I help clinic owners, wellness clinic owners, physiotherapists, gym owners, anyone in the health and wellness industry, reimagine their model and basically just help them give structure to it so that they can start attracting clients, keeping them for longer so that they stay, pay, and refer, basically. And in the process, you should be paid as the owner very well, and you should be able to employ a great team and do all the things. And I did this in my own business for, when was it, 2016 till 2023 before I sold my gym. I turned it around from struggling. I was a struggling gym owner, and never really bringing in more than like 7K a month. And then through business mentorship, like the stuff that I offer and all this stuff that you're reading in this ebook, I turned it into consistent 15 to 20K months, and I employed 6 full-time members of staff, and we had a really good time. So yeah, if you need any more help with that, then just reach out. Just literally comment 150K. I'll send you the guide. And if you want any kind of consulting work, any growth ideas, then I also offer a free call. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.